Ooh, my hand's ashy. Hold on, get some lotion on. I need to check and see how much of me you can see. Hopefully it's looking good. This feels centered. I really hope. I don't have any boogers. It's hot. Am I sweating? Oh, that light is nice. Think my hair looks good? Child, that's enough. Hey Melanin, it's been a while. Hope this is in focus. We just gonna get into it. All right. I think the last video I put up was in May or June. It's been at least 5-6 months, probably 6. I'll put a correction somewhere in here, in here, in here. But it's been a while. But hello, it's the very close of December, the close of 2022. So I just thought I would catch us up. Life in July always gets a little bit hectic for me. And I did not prepare accordingly, but that's all right. Here I am. Those are the 2 thoughts for this video. 1, where have I been? And 2, let's just talk about 2022 as a whole and some reflections I've had on the year. Number 1 on the 2022 wrap up is this. One of the things that I'm very proud of in 2022 is creating Hey Melanin. When I was creating, putting together, organizing all that stuff for Fraternizing. Fraternizing is my film. I actually should put it on this channel. When I was creating Fraternizing, my goal was to create a production company or entertainment company. And this year I started that. The reality is, if this is a life goal of mine and something I'm pursuing, there's gonna be times when I need rest and I need a break. And this was one of those years where I needed a little bit of a longer break. I'm very proud to have started Hey Melanin. I'm very thankful for my friends around me who were willing to support me in any way that you guys could, whether that be, yeah, let's just take a moment and think about that too, because I think a lot of times there's this thought that supporting a creative or supporting artist takes a lot. And sometimes it is financial, but sometimes, like, you guys don't know how much it meant for me when you shared my video on your platform, whether it was Instagram or Facebook. I don't really do Twitter. Talk to your friends about it. That meant the world to me. That meant so much to me, and it's literally free. And that's something, it's not gonna say that everybody is gonna support the same way, but because it costs nothing, it just means so much when someone just chooses to support in that way. I can literally click share and show my audience or the people that view whatever I post, who you are, what you're doing. It means a lot. So share your friends' stuff, share your folks' stuff. Number 2, this year, one of my biggest goals was just not to argue with people. I think a younger me's nature is to debate and, like, I'm gonna go back and forth. Like, let's go toe to toe. I used to enjoy getting to the end of a situation, not just getting to the end of it, but also wanting to win a conversation or win a debate. And that's something that I know I did a lot when I was younger, and I still have the capacity to do it now, don't get it twisted. But I was just reminded of how time is limited, and what's the point? If somebody has their mind set on something, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna change it. This year, I really considered for a moment, is this conversation worth it? Is me winning in this conversation worth it? Or is my peace more important? Do I have other things I can be doing? I still probably went back and forth with people sometimes, but I think truly I had a limit of 2 back and forths and then I was done. My win now is having peace about it and having my time. Number 3, I'm shocked you guys can't hear in the background, which is good. That means she's being quiet, but I got a little puppy. I always wanted a puppy. I'll insert some pictures here too, but I always wanted a puppy. I always wanted a puppy of my own. I had family dogs. Shouts out to Ziggy and Zoe and Biscuit. I've had family dogs, but I never had my own puppy to call my own. So this year, I have Winnie Pooh. Her name is Winifred Sassafras Lightning Bolt, my last name. But she is 9 months old now. She is very, very sassy. She is very Yappy, opinionated, she will talk back, but she has added a lot to my life in ways I didn't really know I needed. Does she get on my nerves often? Yeah, she's like having a child. and like having a child, even when they do that, you still love them and they're still like great. So that's my little Winnie Pooh. Got a puppy this year. So I unlocked my hair. You guys saw like at the, well, if you've known me pretty much before 2022, you've seen my hair locked. I started my locks in 2008. Yeah, because that's when I graduated. So I actually started a little bit before then, but 2008 is when I like started my locks and kept them going. And I loved my locks, and I still plan to have locks again in the future. I wanted to experiment, and I did a lot of hair experimentation. If I can find them, I will throw those in here too. But I had fun and it was cool, and now I'm just really realizing I don't really enjoy doing hair that much. But I needed to go through that. I needed to experience that. And I have some plans for 2023 if I don't chicken out. My grace grew, and in my grace growing, I learned to be more patient. I learned that, you know, we all going through stuff, including myself, and it's easy to jump and make an assumption about someone and what's happening in their life, but it's better to talk to them maybe, or ask questions if you have that sort of space in their life, and if they're willing to talk to you about different things, talk and see what's going on. But also, Maya Angelou used to say, I am a human being. Nothing that is human is impossible to me. And I think if we see life from that perspective, we'll be like, hey, they're going through this thing, but you know, I'm just grateful that I am where I am right now. That doesn't mean it's better, doesn't mean it's worse. It just means that whatever they're going through, more than likely it's possible in your life. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it's possible. And I think that when we see things from that perspective, it's like, man, let me just show a little more grace. Let me have a little more calm in how I approach this. That being said, another thing I also learned was have them boundaries. Put up them boundaries when they're needed. I feel like since 2019, and this has been a long lesson, 2019, 20, 21, 22. 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 3 years. That's 3 years of this lesson. Have your boundaries. They're very much important. People that give usually befriend people that take, and takers are going to always take, and givers pretty much are going to always give. So protect yourself out there. When I was younger, even though some other people might see me and be like, oh, she had a lot of boundaries, I really didn't. And I feel like I was more of a people pleasing, not for everybody, but for certain people in my life. And now I feel like even though I want those people, those same people to be good, to be happy, all those things, I can't put me in a place of being broken down and just like exhausted in order to fill their cup and make sure they're good. Like, I gotta make sure I'm good first. Straight like that. Like, I gotta make sure I'm good and that my cup is full and that I'm able to live, exist, be comfortable, little things. So boundaries are important. The thing to me with boundaries is it's not so, the issue is not setting them. It's always like the repercussions of them. So say you set a boundary with somebody and they get offended by your boundary, then it's like, well, dang, I didn't want to offend them or hurt their feelings. Now I'm kind of like, baby, be offended. Like, because the boundary is set to protect me. Now, I'm not setting boundaries that impede on other people's stuff. This is for me. So if somebody also is offended by your boundary, also something to consider. Like, does that person need to be in your space? But anyways, set boundaries that you feel necessary and carry on. I will say I had a health scare, and I feel like anything to do with health, it's not a priority until it becomes a priority. And thankfully, even though it was a scare, it never became a priority. It was just like, a girl, come on, you need to get it together. And I'm in the process of getting it together. Also, go to the doctor. If you haven't had a physical, this is not my story because I'm very like, anything feels off, I'm like, I'm going to the doctor. But go to the doctor. If something feels off, go get it checked and make sure you're in good health. This year I went to a ball. I have been Fortunately or unfortunately, I have been obsessed with Brandy's Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, whatever you want to call it, since I was about 11 or 12 years old. Like, huge fan, super fan. And then in the last couple years, there's this wonderful show on Netflix called Bridgerton that Shonda Rhimes put together, and I have loved it, especially the first season. The second season was good, but the first season was like chef's kiss. So this year they had a ball for it, and I got to get like dressy in a ball gown, and I put on this wig, and I like gathered my friends to come, some friends that watch Bridgerton also, and we had a ball in DC. I actually made a video about that. I don't know how the YouTubers say link it here or link it here, but I will put that link somewhere in the description box if possible, if I'm unable to do the link it here thing. But I had such a ball. Like, it was so much fun getting dressed up and just feeling like incredibly cute, like very cute, and had big poofy dresses on. Had a big poofy dress on. My girls were sitting up. But it was so much fun, and I did not know like until then that I was into cosplay. But man, I think I'm into cosplay. Not all of it, because there's different levels to cosplay. I'm into Old English, I guess. I'm into Bridgerton themed cosplay. That's what I know for sure. I don't know how much more of the gamut of cosplay I'm into, but I do know for Bridgerton, I'm definitely into that. Oh, and we had a great time. Like, I remembered more. We went to the ball, but then we went to like a bar and met up with my friend Cheston, and then we met up with my friend Desiree. She came. If you're a fan of fraternizing, she played Estelle. Desiree played Estelle in fraternizing. But yeah, it was a fun weekend. It really was fun. And it was cool just to be in DC again and kind of have a taste of the city. I feel like this is one of the biggest lessons of 2022. I had to reevaluate relationships. Okay? Like, let me get some tea. Hold on. Because the gag is, no. Reevaluating relationships. Let's just unpack that bag. This is what I will say. Any relationship that you have, if you want it to work, you must invest in it. You must pour into it. You must do checkups. You must, it's almost like a doctor's visit. You got to check in with your person. And I know that a lot of times in romantic relationships, this is always talked about. You need to check in with your person. You need to temperature check. How are things going? You need to, go out on dates together and keep the spark alive. But it's rarely spoken about in platonic friendships or familial friendships. Any sort of relationship you have, in order for it to succeed and be successful, you gotta pour into it. If you're not, it's gonna fade away. Pouring into one another and like really motivating each other and encouraging each other. These sound like such elementary things. All of that to say, reevaluate your friendships, reevaluate your relationships, and look to the why. Some people are there and what purpose they're serving. If you are serving them also, because it's not just about them pouring into you, you need to pour back too. And if there's any reciprocity, take all of this with a grain of salt. Do what you wish. But all these are just things to consider. What else is on my list? I may not even include all of these, but oh my goodness. Okay. This year I was reminded to dream big because I think I had given up on some things almost, or I had just pressed them down so far that I couldn't even see them anymore, couldn't even feel them anymore. In my life, I always wanted to travel to Italy, and I never did it because I was holding that in a very special place in my mind. And I will definitely make a longer video about this, but this year I traveled. It's one of my very favorite things to do, to go to different places experience different cultures, try different food, smell different air. Like I love it all about travel. I like getting lost in new cities. So this year, my initial plan was to take a month off from work and to travel to, something's in my eye, to travel to Venice, Italy, Paris, France, Edinburgh, Scotland, Manchester, England, and London, England. Because of some delays, I didn't get to go to every place, but I did travel this year. And let me just say, I'm in love with Paris. It just fed me truly in ways I did not even know I needed or expected to. So please get your passport. Please get your ticket to the world. Get your passport and see some world, like see something new, experience something new. It's so important. All of us are taught to save money. This year, I learned how to spend some money. I don't know what accent that was, but that's just what came out. But I learned how to spend some money, okay? And it was nerve-wracking. Yeah, it was weird to me. I was like, oh, this feels like so much. But it was so good. Like, yes, there's a time to save, but then there's a time to spend. The Bible tells us there's a time to plant. There's also a time to harvest. And I had never ever spent money like this before, I don't think, in my life. It felt good to do it and be like, yeah, you're okay. You still have, because you've saved money, you still have like a nest egg. You're still okay. So this year I learned how to spend some money, and now I kind of need to chill out and spend it a little bit because I got a little too good at it. And I have some dreams for this upcoming year, 2023 and 2024, that require me to save responsibly. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. But learn how to spend, learn how to save, learn how to become more financially responsible. That's what I'm doing. Which leads me to my next lesson note of 2022. In 2022, I boosted up that credit score, baby. Okay? That number went up. You feel me, baby? Okay? And I was really excited about that because I'm in my 30s, and I've never had bad credit per se. I just didn't really have credit. I think boosting my credit score might have been one of my biggest highlights of this year. It just made me feel like an adult. Like, I think for men and women, this could just be me, but I think for men and women, when we're in our 30s and we're single, like we don't have that relationship that says we're an adult, or we don't have a child that says we're an adult, sometimes we just get considered like the leftovers to a degree, or like, oh, they're just like bachelor, bachelorette, living life, being reckless. It's like, nah, really not at all. Really trying to put things in order so that I can have the life that I desire. And you know, I think a lot of people that have children and are married, they have the life that they desire, and I want those things one day. I really do want those things one day, but I feel like there are some things that I need to get in line before I'm married. Not before a relationship, Lord, please bring that on, because this single life is getting real hood out here. For me, building a line of credit and boosting my credit score, for some reason, probably because also I'm in America, but because of those things, it made me feel good. And yeah, your girl's credit score is real good right now. 2022 also had its emotional moments. Like, I definitely felt stuck for some months, and that kind of started after, a little bit before I got Winnie, but after I got Winnie too. And Winnie kind of like slowed me down, like almost brought things to a halt, because even though she's not a child, it felt like having a child. Like, I had to readjust and figure out how to create a new timeline with a puppy, and pack for a puppy, and all these things for a puppy. So life kind of slowed down a bit. There were honestly moments when I felt stuck. Like, what am I doing? Like, where am I going? What is my plan? How come I'm not getting there? What's slowing me down from getting there? Am I getting in my way? A large part of it was just my mindset about things. I was feeling just not fully capable. And like, Lord, what do you have for me? Like, I felt like God was being quiet toward me for some time, but largely a lot of that was just me not making space to hear him. Like I had to really make space to hear him. Like I just felt stuck, and part of me like pulling myself out of that was going on the trip. This is really the majority of the things. I think that wraps up my 2022 experience. Oh, I didn't tell y'all about international dating either. I'll do that in another video. That's a good story time. Hashtag story time. I'll do that later. But that wraps up 2022. I'm gonna make more videos going forward, because Hey Melanin is something I really want to see flourish. I really want to see this become what I dream, but even beyond what I could even dream about it becoming. Also, I'm putting this out everywhere. If y'all got connections to Sister Act 3, let me know. I'm trying to be in the movie somehow. I really am. I'm not even playing about that. I'm putting the call out. My name is Devin. I'd like to be in Sister Act 3. And if you want to hear me sing, I have an IG page. It's called I'm Devin, I Sing. If you're looking for me, my information is below. I will also, I don't know, y'all. I just want to be in the movie. This is a wrap for 2022. I'm excited about 2023. I know God has great things in store for us, all of us. And I'm just praying you guys nothing but success and just good times, man. Like, get out there and live. Do something new that you've never done before. Experience life. It's waiting for you to live it. And talk to God, you know, get some direction from above. But I'm excited. It's gonna be a great year. It is. It really is. Thank you for watching Hey Melanin. I love y'all. Hope that you're great. God loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Little Usher. Little Usher. Usher, baby. Bye. Hey, Melanin. I know these people in the office can see me. Am I okay with that? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Because I like the natural lighting. Yeah, I'm having a whole conversation with myself. I'm conversing with management.